said there's nothing called too much and less makeup.
Yeah.
It's a right amount of makeup.
Yeah.
So as an artist, you need to know where to draw your boundaries. If you just have makeup as your disguise, then it's not going to work. So there's no age limit. Makeup is an accessory which gives you confidence. It's like a good piece of jewelry. It's like a good outfit. I love making women look beautiful.
On this Expression podcast, the talented Gouri Kapur talks about her journey of over 2 decades in the makeup industry and how makeup need not be merely for appearance but also to bring out one's beauty and strength from within. She truly believes that one size does not fit all. Hi, Gouri.
Hi, Neha.
So, when did you know you wanted to get into makeup and styling?
I think when I started, it was it wasn't a very well-known profession. Of course,
Yeah.
it was in Bollywood. But me being the creative person, I was always inclined towards creativity.
Yeah.
So creativity was about just creating something and I think somewhere as you grow older, you realize that what your strengths were. So it was about picking up something and beautifying it.
Yeah.
So I think somewhere I was naturally inclined towards it. And as fate has it, I actually chanced on an article and that's how I happened to go to Bombay and start my course.
Yeah.
But it just happened, I would say. It was just an inclination towards something creative. And I guess this was it.
You were really young at 22 and married and then went to Bombay to
Yeah.
train under...
I got married at 18.
Okay.
And I went to Bombay when I was 23. That was when my eldest son was born. He was about 3.5 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So how did you manage?
It was a month.
Okay.
And I think I had a very supportive family. My husband also
Yeah.
was supportive. And taking 1 month out in a joint family was okay.
Yeah.
You knew your kids are taken care of. So
Yeah.
that was an advantage.
And what is your background like?
So I studied in Cottons, after which education was never I did study, but I never was fond of studying. I was, leave me in my world and I just wanted to create. And I did meet my ex-husband at that point and, things happened and my dad was open to the idea of marriage. I guess he was just I was just a complicated person for him to understand, I guess, but he was really supportive about everything.
Yeah.
And that's it. Got married at 18, and then I think, sometimes just fate takes its way.
So was there someone who inspired you to get into makeup? And
None at all. None at all.
It just came naturally.
It's just naturally.
Yeah. And what was it like styling stars like Deepika Padukone and Katrina Kaif? They both have different complexions. So what was it like styling them?
I don't think complexions really play a role in terms of styling. It's your ability, to be able to do a great job. So whether it's been Deepika, whether it's been Anushka, whether it's been Katrina, whether it's been Akshata Murthy. Now she was, much more simpler.
Yeah.
And so it's just about understanding the personalities and working with it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what time has really taught me.
Yeah.
It gives you the wisdom
Yeah.
to, get better at your craft.
So you mentioned about Akshata Murthy.
Yeah.
When you say simple and when someone says that we want a no makeup look, what would you do?
So Neha, I could say I've taken all these years to really learn the art of makeup. I would never say you know it all.
Yeah.
It's a journey, and it's been a journey of, you try it all. You try it all till you come and you know your style. But after some time, you just know you're best at that and that's what you should do. So that's when people say, no, we don't want too much makeup. I said, there's nothing called too much and less makeup.
Yeah.
It's a right amount of makeup.
Yeah.
So as an artist, you need to know where to draw your boundaries. You need to know where to draw your lines. How much is required is what makes you a good artist.
Yeah.
And what is required.
Nice. And what is your own personal style?
I think that's what's actually worked in my career as well, because it's your own personal style which is carried on, in everything you do. It's like the house you live with, when you have friends over, the parties you give, it's all an extension of you, right? So I think my personal style is, I do like a little bit, I like to be different. I like to do things differently. I like to do things in a certain way. And but I think what really I've been blessed with is I've been quicker to understand where I need to stop and what is required.
Yeah.
I think that's what's been a blessing in my life.
Yeah. No, but when you say you're different, I don't think you want to be someone who stands out. I know that you do it very elegantly, very subtly, right? If I'm not wrong.
Subtle, like elegant glam is what
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
You do want to make your own statement. I've always
Yeah.
had that.
Yeah.
But how you put that across is what really is
Yeah.
your personal
Yeah.
style. So it's very difficult to define it. You have to see it.
Yes. Stars versus normal people. Is there any special focus or treatment?
Not at all, actually.
Yeah.
That's what used to amuse me, because when Akshata got married, or when I'd done Deepika's makeup for her film Aishwarya, and when the media used to come and ask me, and I used to wonder, I was like, for me, everyone's a star when they're sitting in front of me. It doesn't really matter who's in, as long as you're good at your job.
Yeah.
That's exactly why they're sitting in front of you. So obviously it doesn't change if you're good. And for me, every person is a star in my own eyes.
I like that. How would you style someone like Rahul Dravid?
Men, I would say, is different. I think the thing that you can really play around with men is, of course, their styling. I think that makes a huge difference. And when I say styling, of course, the only thing that you really have to play with men is either the hair, the beards, or, the outfits. Of course, the other aspects like grooming and stuff are a different thing altogether. But with Rahul Dravid, I mean, with men especially, I would say, I like to keep them looking like men. Makeup, though, anyway, whether it's women or men, it should not show. It shouldn't look like it's, it shouldn't take away from who you are.
Yeah.
So I think that being the core thing of makeup, whether it's a man or woman, that's what is the USP.
Yeah. And any style tips or products for men you would recommend?
It's difficult to recommend like that through, makeup is something like
Yeah.
that. But we do have grooming workshops where we actually train them as to how, whether it's men or women.
You
And
do?
We do.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, a lot of girls who are out of school and getting into college,
Yeah.
their mothers send their daughters to me.
So this grooming is not just makeup, you're saying?
It's just not makeup. It's an extension. It's just not makeup. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's not makeup that changes everything. Yes, makeup plays an important role.
Yeah.
But there are lots of other factors.
So like what factors would you like to elaborate?
I think for one is the confidence level. Now, you can't just say that makeup will bring the confidence. Yes, it does, but there are other aspects.
Yeah.
Do you really believe in yourself? If today I am where I am after 25 years of makeup, have I really believed in myself and my art? Having people appreciate is different, which is, of course, very, very important. But have you been able to go through your ups and downs in the same manner, learn through it, and evolve stronger? I think that's what it is about, And grooming, I think the advantage is because been in this industry so many years, seen the glamour world. You are at a point of time where you're good to advise the girls, or I have women who are 50, who are 60, who are coming to learn makeup. So there's no age limit. Makeup is an accessory which gives you confidence. It's like a good piece of jewelry. It's like a good outfit. It's an investment for yourself.
And why should someone go to Gouri Kapur's academy and not take free tutorials online? What is it
The
that
free
you have to-
tutorials really are not understanding your personality.
Yeah.
They're talking in a very generic way, right?
Yeah.
But when you come to Gouri Kapur, she understands who you are. She understands what you need. The academy will understand your reason of being there, and then give you a customized approach, a more one-to-one detailed approach. So you know that you're coming in to get what you really need.
Yeah. And you personally look into this?
Absolutely.
How do you go about makeup for dark and fair complexion?
Honestly, there isn't a difference.
Okay.
There's a visual difference, but in doing, yes, it's just a change of color.
Even
It's
the
like
glow?
Absolutely. It's just how you're changing your shades, and that's what's knowledge.
Okay.
I feel what really is lacking is knowledge.
And what works? There's nothing specific for like a dark tone or like a lip shade or eye.
Of course, there's a lot of change. It's like, I could relate it like you're doing interiors.
Yeah.
You're working with a room which is blue versus you're working on a room which is probably more red themed. The colors that will add, the things that you will do, the accessories that you will add. So it's pretty much just the color palette that's changing.
Yeah.
My
Way of
the
doing.
steps, the way of doing remains the same.
Okay.
Of course, a little bit here and there, but that's what your talent is, and that's what you're being paid for.
Yeah.
To understand that and to teach that. Earlier, I would say there was a lot more, apprehensions of women having a darker skin tone. Now, I mean, I actually train the women to own it. And I don't see many women coming with that problem anymore, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's very accepted now.
Yeah. Tell us something about your experience styling Dhoni, Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
Oh, it was fun. I remember it was first morning,
Okay.
and I had gone out partying 31st night. So I do remember it that way. I was hung over. Other than that, I think he was an amazing guy. And he
Okay.
was so grounded, so down to earth. As a matter of fact, I think all the celebrities I worked with, other than one or two, have been
Yeah.
so grounded.
Yeah.
So grounded. And Deepika, I think we've had a fond connection as well. So,
What has been your proudest moment as a makeup artist?
I think every time I have achieved the perfection I wanted to, and believe me when I say this, I mean, hard work never really shows, but it's that little kida in your head, where you want to perfect something in your craft. And when you do it for yourself, not that the other person needs to know, but that has been my proud moment, because for me, it was everything. It's about overcoming or accomplishing something that I had in my mind. So I think those were my proud moments. No, I wouldn't say awards or this and that has been.
But nothing specific you can remember? Like anything with a bride or...
I think every time you appreciate it, and not appreciate it just for your art, for who you are and how you handle it. That's why I say it just doesn't end there. It's a lot more.
Yeah.
So every time I think I've made a client happy or, until date, that's been my only satisfaction.
Nice.
Proud moment.
So you also worked on a lot of advertising campaigns and really diverse kinds. Huh? I was going through the pictures. There's one with this Cleopatra look.
Yeah.
And so which is your favorite character from amongst those?
I think for me as an artist, it was about being versatile. I
Yeah.
couldn't stay in one rut.
Yeah.
It was like I had to experiment with everything. I had to, I had to go bizarre. Understated was very boring. But of course, see, with bridals also, now you can't really extend the limit too much.
Yeah.
Though, that is one of my most important areas of work. But again, I say the most important thing as an artist is knowing where to stop. So, I mean, I've gone bizarre, I've experimented with everything, but especially for my academy shoots. And, I had this friend of mine, Harmeet Singh, who was an amazing photographer. That's when I could really push boundaries.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that thoroughly because it was like we've spent 8 hours on one look. So you wouldn't do that on a bridal, but you can, push yourself when you are getting super creative.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, so I enjoy every aspect of working with different fields. Movies, I find them a little monotonous, very cannot handle the waiting bit. But anything that's creative and, which lets me be. Bridals I enjoy because there's just so much. There's emotion. There's an experience. There's so much to it. So I love doing bridals. Always has been my favorite. But the other things satisfy my creative hunger.
Aspect, yeah. No, but I've seen that, correct me if I'm wrong, I think most women that you've tried to sort of style and do the makeup on, you've wanted to project them more like a strong, bold woman. Is there a reason?
Not really.
Not really.
Maybe in advertising, or maybe that's a requirement. But if you coming to me, see, again, there are different aspects. You're coming to me as a bride. Now, let's say the bride is only very soft looking.
Yeah.
Why would I change her personality?
Yeah.
Yes, I have the power to do so. I can make you look like anything I want to. But that's the power I don't want to misuse.
Yeah.
And that's the power which has actually got me to where I am because I know exactly what to do with your face.
Yeah.
And the reason, and right now, I think with, earlier makeup wasn't that. There were 3 makeup artists in Bangalore.
Yeah.
And now it's like every second person is a makeup artist. So you have brides who are coming, they're tormented, Neha. They are scarred. They are, I mean, it's, I could look at it and say it's sad. It's sad that people are, putting makeup in the name of makeup, but not really studying the other things or other factors that are important.
Yeah.
And you just can't wake up one day and say, yeah, I'm an artist.
True, and I also like the fact that you insist that before a bride comes, they do a trial with you so that even the bride feels comfortable before her big day. And
That is an option, but now I have so much of my NRI clientele. How much do we get to meet?
okay.
You're meeting they're coming into India probably a week before. You probably just might meet them. Sometimes you don't even meet them.
Yeah.
But they still have that trust in you that they want to look that way.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot for a person to do that.
Yeah. Giving
And
the
I think
big day.
these are my attributes that I would say through time. I'm grateful that these are the important things I would say. But if it was that shallow as just being another makeup artist, I wouldn't be in this today.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, when you're collaborating with photographers, stylists, what works well? I mean, do they leave the entire look on you, or do they give inputs as to what they want? How does it work?
So yes, of course, there's always an open discussion because you're working as a team. But again, when you come to a point where you have the trust factor, when you're working as a team, the other person knows your style. You just it's so much easier when you're working with people you work through years because you understand each other's styles and strengths.
Yes.
So it's just about speaking to each other and saying, okay, this is what we need, and the other person does it. Now, obviously, photographers have worked with me because my style is different. So whenever they want something different, they know who to go to. Regular to koi bhi kar sakta hai, It's so I would say it's about giving that touch of you in your craft, which you're remembered for. Whether it's an editorial, whether it's a bride, whether it's a grooming class.
Yeah. No, and also lighting plays a really important role, right? Before the cameras and things like that.
Totally. But I think that's what's nice, now, because a photographer, once you start working together, or they know their job, you know yours, and I think it's always a team. It's always a team energy which works.
Yeah, I agree. Is makeup a kind of mask to hide behind? Or is it a way to celebrate who we truly are?
I think now it's worked both ways. It's working both ways, rather. A lot of women I see use it as a mask. And I could say, being a woman, I'm saying, when you have too much of a mask, there's something that you're hiding behind. There's an insecurity or something that you're trying to hide behind. Whereas my way of teaching is, you need to let go of that mask and use it as an accessory to, get out there stronger, more confident. It should work for you, not hide you.
That's true. And do you think it lifts you up when you are down? I mean, does it help emotionally?
Totally. 25 years I've been doing it. I totally believe in that.
So it also helps women who are hurt to hide their emotions also and to fight back, come across as someone stronger.
I would say it could be a part of it. Couldn't be the only thing, And that's what I say. If you just have makeup as your disguise, then it's not going to work. It's not going to come out as truly confident. Let's be honest. That's what I'm saying. It's just not one factor. It's a lot of factors. So makeup, yes, I would say plays a huge role, but is not the only factor.
How does makeup relate to the proverb, appearances can be deceptive?
It applies completely. It depends on the makeup artist you're going to.
Talk to us a little more about it. Some experience or anything.
Okay, I have a huge problem with makeup artists converting all the, darker skinned women into... I mean, why are you camouflaging them? Why are you changing them? They don't even look like themselves. I don't understand that. And there are people who want to go and learn just that.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a huge... I mean, these are things that I can't relate with. So I don't really get into it or something because that's all me. You do you, I do me. I mean, and the ones who believe in what I do are coming to me. So, but that is something I haven't been able to understand. That why would you do that? But I guess now it is... I mean, makeup has become a mask. It has become a mask, unfortunately. It doesn't have to be a mask.
Can appearances get literally deceptive with makeup? Suppose there's a guy who's fallen in love with someone and she's always been on makeup, and then when they get married and he realizes, oh my God, does it happen now? With more of social media.
But Neha, kitni der tak? How long will you do that? It's more like you're hiding your personality and then finally you come out with it. It's going to come out some way or the other.
Correct.
So I feel it's a very...
waste, right?
it's not something that you can really rely a relationship on a basis of that.
So,
I feel
any advice for women who do that?
I think first understand yourself, understand who you truly are.
Mm-hmm.
You need help, we're there. But because that's what I say, it's just not makeup. You come to us, and through the years, it's like I can look at a person and I know what that person needs, who that person is, what that person's all about, and
Yeah.
what, of course. I mean, that's what's wisdom, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's experience that
Yeah.
anybody who's just starting makeup now
Yeah.
is still going to figure it out. And I've gone through that same, period. But right now, you can look at someone and know exactly what they need. But this is an honest, um, felt emotion that I'd like to tell women, that don't hide behind any, mask.
Yeah.
Be it makeup, be it anything. It's with your emotions. Deal with them. Feel stronger. Feel what you want to be within. And of course, it's not that I will feel that way and I'll get it. You have to work on it together.
Yeah.
You have to work on your emotions, your physical attributes, your appearance, your clothes, the way you talk, the way you dress, the way you feel. That's what I say. It's all a package deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all a package deal. And we are actually working on those things right now at the academy.
That's wonderful. What's the top 2 season makeup trend currently?
I think the season trend right now is just natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's understated elegance. And I love the trend that is going
Yeah.
on right now, to be honest.
And any product specifically that helps you achieve this?
There are lots of products again, Neha. Products again are, they're specific to your requirement. That's, the other day I was doing bridal makeup and I had like 5 of them. And I was doing it for the bride, and the girl who's going to be a would-be bride, and she saw me using that on the bride, and she said, "Why didn't you use that on me?" And I said, "That's because every product doesn't work on everyone, and that's what you're paying me for my knowledge that I'm not using this on you." So it's like you can't blindly use something. You have to
Yeah.
know why. What is
Yeah.
the purpose of using it?
Yeah. Nice. When you work with such closeness, with another human being, you definitely feel their energy.
Of course.
So how do you handle it? Is it sometimes intimidating?
Not at all. If you know your job and you're confident about what you're going to do,
Yeah. So what if a bride is feeling nervous? Do you even chat with her?
Oh yeah, see, there indirectly you are a part of the family for that.
Yeah.
Which I think is the most beautiful thing, actually, Neha.
Yeah.
Because there's so much of connection. You're not looking at, yes, money is important. Yes, being having it as your career is important. But I think the human touch is so important. And I think that's what people really remember you for. They look amazing, that's different, but it could be a bride who's stressed, who's come to the studio and I said, "Do you want to have a drink?" And she's like, "Yeah." And that she remembers that for years, that I was so stressed, but that one thing, I think it was a couple which came and I said, "You guys are so stressed, just have one each and go." And they remember that till date. So it's just not the makeup, it's the other things that you do. Or she's really stressed and she had to get ready in 20 minutes, and how you kind of calm her down. You get there, take care of the family, because the family is getting hyper, and the bride's already, so there are lots of stressful moments that you probably can step in subtly and kind of help out in your own little way. But that is remembered.
Because you do come out as a very warm person, so I'm sure the brides are lucky to have you whenever you're working with them.
I think I'm so blessed because I've had such amazing, I think all my friends, my entire network has come just through my work. It's all been through my
You also
work.
do hair, right? If I'm not wrong.
I was forced to do hair. But when I started off, it was like, there was no, I didn't even have an assistant. So it was like, okay, you're doing bridal makeup, you have to do the hair. At that time, though, we used to take the nail polish also and put it. Because what do you do? I mean, you had to do everything.
Yeah.
And then, with due course of time, and thanks to acrylic nails now, and then I have my assistants now. So things have changed, of course.
Okay, great. In an event of a bride being late and you have other appointments around the same time, what will you do?
So that used to be an issue before, Neha, when I had 7, 8 brides in a day. That's when it used to be you working automated, like robotic, from one to another.
Yeah.
But right now I've come to a point where I do not take on more than I can handle. I don't want to take on more than I can handle. For me, it's about doing justice to that one bride and, feeling good about what you've done for that than to have another stress. It's not about money, it's about what I'm executing and the finished product at the moment, which always was, but it used to get stressful to have perfection in that and stick to a time. Now it's only about perfection that I look at, doing a great job.
How long does it take to get a bride ready?
About 2.5, 3 hours in total.
You've said, when I was a newcomer in the industry, some people exploited me by not paying me for my assignments, and I had to suffer bizarre hours of work without any extra payment. How did this affect you, and how did you overcome it?
Take it as you're learning and you keep moving on.
Yeah.
A lot of shit has happened in life, in everyone's career, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, but I think what was depressing was the people who didn't pay me were the known people of Bangalore who were up there. So you had a certain amount of respect for them that, you know, that's why I say, I mean, money is an energy again, right? You get to know about people. So when we did that, and I guess I'd just take it as a learning.
Yeah.
Learned, move on.
What are some mistakes you've made, and how has it helped you grow as a person?
Everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah.
I don't remember my mistakes, but it's not a mistake if you don't repeat it again. So I think I was a quick learner that way.
Yeah. Anything you remember vividly?
I think my first shoot when I came from Bombay.
Yeah.
And I felt like one star. I've come back after a month and, you know, after doing a course with Bharat and Doris. And this photographer said, let's do a shoot. I said, yeah, sure. Of course, you're nervous, but you're still confident with whatever reason. So I went there, finished the whole makeup, came out amazing and everything. And the next day when the pictures came, I realized I forgot to powder down her face completely. So it was and I didn't realize this was my first makeup ever.
Yeah.
You know, so you know when you make mistakes like this, you will never repeat them. So yeah, I think things like that, you know, mistakes where it could be you filled up your diary a little too much, you couldn't handle it. And, you know, and that's what I say, mistakes are something that makes you realize how to sort your life out. So I take them, I take that as a positive.
Yeah, of course. So share with us some of your memorable assignments and some that you're going to take up in the future.
I think I was working with IPL.
Okay. What was special?
When Virat Kohli was playing. That's when I did his makeup. The Bangalore Fashion Week, that was my first experience being on a panel for a larger, fashion week.
Do your boys play cricket?
No, not seriously.
Sorry, let's get back.
Not at all. So that was the other one. Third was, I think slowly, because my makeup spoke for itself, I had the right people coming to me. And if you ask me what really is my... And you know, when you know your career is going the right route, you know you're doing something right.
Yeah.
You don't have to think too much of it. You know there's something that you're doing that is right. So then again, when I did Nandan Nilekani's daughter, Narayan Murthy's daughter, then I've done all the royal weddings, the Gaur wedding, that is Madhav Rao Sindhya's son's wedding. And I'm forgetting the other royals I've always. So, I mean, these have been very moments of memory, I would say. You know, it's been like small milestones of achievement because of your work being appreciated.
Nice. And what about your future plans? Also, I'm curious more about your academy. You mentioned about grooming. Would you like to elaborate a little more on what you're going to do in the future?
I love making women look beautiful. I think that's my inherent reason of being in this profession. So the academy one is training individuals to be future makeup artists, and only if they're serious. Like there are lots of academies out there who are just doing it for the sake of teaching. But from my academy, I take very few students, and I prefer students who are really, serious about learning.
Yeah.
Because I'm here to give you everything that I've learned in my 25 years.
And how long is
no
the
filters? So I keep it for 25 days too.
Okay.
About 30 days is what it takes. But 24 days is what the official time is. The thing I feel right now, Neha, is a lot of people who are getting into makeup really need to ask themselves, are they really cut out for makeup? For training, though, of course, there are lots of places, but how many people really make it?
Yeah.
So the right training again is very, very important.
Yeah.
It's not only the application of makeup, it's a lot of other skills that are required in... so the academy caters to just not the course, but a lot of things around it as to how do you get successful, the business side of makeup. I'm actually planning to come out with a podcast, which is, you know, talks about the business side of makeup. It's makeup everyone knows, but how do you make it?
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the part which is for serious makeup artists. The second thing that as I said, my passion is to make women look beautiful. So grooming, that is, anybody can come who wants to make themselves look better. So we have a 3-day course where we teach them how to do the day makeup, the midway makeup, which
Yeah.
can work both ways, and glamour. So of course, again, I don't have a fixed syllabus for these things, but of course, you go down that lane, but it changes with the client changing.
Yeah.
So the simpler look, or you somebody who's probably going to Dubai would want a little more. Like recently, I taught the current Mrs. India, so she came to me for her course, and I taught her in 3 days. I probably extended it for another 2 days for her, but in the 3 days, in 5 days, she learned how to do her makeup for the pageant.
That's wonderful.
And she said, Gauri, I've never been more confident. I didn't go there because it was mayhem. It was so badly organized. And, everyone was just... She said, I just went in, I did my makeup, I walked out, and she won the crown. And she says, that was such an important aspect, which I didn't realize, because while I was training, I was telling her, because you've been there, right? So
Yeah.
you're already giving them hints and cues of how to go about it. So... she won it, and she came and she said that gave me, and right now she said I can't live without makeup, thanks to you. Yeah, so it that gives you a good feeling that it's being used, and it's given her that confidence. It's changed her life to a certain extent.
And I thought it takes time, but this is quick in 5 days.
The personal one is quick.
Yeah.
3 days actually. 3 days is the personal. She was going for a pageant, so that goes a little
I'm
longer.
coming.
Please. As a matter of, we also come in. Like if you have like 10 women who want to learn, we could come there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you also mentioned you help a lot of women. You help a lot of divorced women. You were
So
talking about
that is one of the major. I myself am single right now, but I do see a lot of single women going through this. The confidence levels get dipped down. They need a little bit of push. And what do they really need? They want to revamp. And of course, again, I would say, yeah, makeup is one part, but you also come as a human, as someone who's gone through that experience, who can relate to them. So yeah, and that builds a lot more stronger bonds as well with a lot of people.
Any exciting future projects that you're working on?
I think everything that I do is exciting because I do it because I want to do it.
Yeah.
So the future project that I'm doing right now, I've tied up with my cousin who's from Canada. He's one of the top photographers of Canada, and he's a reality filmmaker. And
What's his name?
Rohit Seth.
Okay.
So we've combined, and we have actually 2-3. One is getting into the bridal industry, because I think it's all about the human touch, the emotional touch, where we're getting into the bridal industry, where we want to make the special moments, capture the special moments especially. And through these years of him, working for that many years, or almost the same amount as me, I think he's 22 and I'm 25.
Yeah.
And that's what we were talking the other day. Together we have that much more experience, you know, and putting that out to create memories. Or so we have something for seniors. Like recently we were in Delhi, and we'd gone to a hill station for this photo shoot. And it's like you have women who are about 70, 75. And I would say beauty really doesn't fade. You are beautiful all the way. And we did this makeover for this lady who's 75 years. And she was the happiest that way, Neha. Happiest that day. Because she said after so much, she's like, मैंने अपनी शादी पे भी इतना makeup नहीं कराया. That was the cutest. And she felt on top of the world. She wanted to just kind of go flaunt herself. It was just that one day, and her, her kids had gifted her that, which I thought was so beautiful. So we try to do it that way, where we try to, have these concepts where people can gift it to your loved ones. So it's just not, because if I just say makeup, it just really doesn't pick up an emotion. But the way it's done, we want to leave an emotional.
So sweet, and it's really rare that I hear about this.
So we are catering to brides, we are catering to life stories, and a lot of women who've just got divorced, who want to rebuild their lives, who want to come for the grooming. So we also do, we call it the reveal. So, they just get a portfolio done. It's just about indulgence, pampering. We do, we like to just give experiences for women who are probably turning 50, 60, anybody.
Yeah.
It's just extra indulgence and pampering and making you feel beautiful. That's what we do
And
best.
confident.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And what's your favorite crazy behind the scenes story?
Ooh, crazy behind the scenes, nobody knows.
That's what I'm asking.
That is, it's chaos. Yeah, Neha, sometimes it's chaos. It's like, I've got brides ready in 15 minutes,
You're
20 minutes. I'm
serious?
not even kidding. And the brides are shocked, like, damn, you actually go. Because, when you're given, like, Gauri, you've got 20 minutes, you gotta get me ready. You are like, at it. And what can I, that's, people think that it doesn't take your mind so much. It actually takes a lot of it. If I'm not in a good state of mind, I cannot do my job. It's all so connected to your mind. So at that point, so that's been my biggest challenge. And I've done a few brides because of the craziness. So
Mind matters.
20 minutes, yes, totally. So that's been one crazy, meeting crazy crazy experiences. It's like I was once called, this is long back, and everyone was going to London. And this guy got in touch with me out of the blue and he said, listen, there's, this fashion show in London. I'm like, yeah. And that time I was only one of the known makeup artists in Bangalore. We were 3, 4 only. And all the models I knew. So everyone moved to Chennai. These guys had taken off. And I was very young again that time. So I took a flight, went to Chennai. I don't know. He said this hotel, whatever. Sitting there, वहाँ पर mobiles भी नहीं थे.
Yeah.
So you're just waiting, and he's like, your visa will come, you fly. I kept waiting for freaking 1 day. And what do you do? So finally took a flight, and I said, and come back. But you know what I mean? I mean, these are experiences behind the scenes which are not so nice. But again, as I say, it's a learning.
Yeah.
You get smarter with the kind of people you want to work with and deal with.
Yeah.
And
now you say you know people, you get to
I know, and I love my job. I love what it.
So what are the international standards that you want to set in this field?
I think that's a very, very big requirement right now. There is no quality control. I think that's the first thing. And I think ethically, you're going and playing with people's faces, which I feel is not right. If it's a bride who is banking on you for her to look great. And I think the biggest problem right now is because of AI and Photoshops.
Yeah.
You really don't know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people are coming back, tried everyone and then coming back to the safe saying, ain't happening because, we know what we're getting into now. So I feel that aspect, there has to be some kind of a standard that people have to achieve before calling themselves a makeup artist or some kind of experience that you've had, And there is a lot I think we have to work in every creative field here. But makeup is something that I am extremely passionate about, and I am thinking on how to set those levels or whatever, at least within my own academy, which have always been there. But it does disappoint me when I look around, because there's no quality, there's no standard, there's no, people can get booked and not reach for your wedding. It's crazy. Makeup artists refuse trials.
Yeah.
How can you refuse a trial?
Yeah.
If a bride's comfortable with your trial, I still don't refuse a trial.
Yeah.
So, it's as long as you respect your art and worship your art, I think that's where I come from. It's just changed right now when I look around. That's why I'm happier in my own world, helping people.
What's your own personal beauty regimen?
The simplest. Simplest.
Like?
I use no chemicals on my face.
Really?
Absolutely none. I'm going to be 50 next year.
Don't look like it.
I tell all my brides as well, stay as much as possible away from your chemicals. Could be temporary. I could, your peels, your glows and stuff like that. But I just feel getting the right, authentic, natural products and having a system of taking care of your skin or a regimen which you follow, you can't go wrong with that.
Anything you suggest? When you say chemical free, any brand or anything that you suggest?
I create my own stuff.
Yeah?
I create my own night creams. I create my own face packs.
Are you going to be selling this soon?
The thing is, I can make a channel of it. It's difficult to sell natural products, without, and For me, it's just I like my time to create and
Yeah.
invent, and
Yeah.
that's what's fun for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to help. I do, because when people come to me, I am giving them those tips.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Nice.
hair I do use a lot of chemical, because that's the only thing I indulge in. But other than that, nothing
Like?
much. Hair color.
Of course.
Baki skin
yes.
pe don't hardly, other than makeup, of course.
Yeah. So even talking about hair, for daily, regular, people go and they blow dry very frequently. Women blow dry frequently. They use all these volumizing spray, heat protective spray. Do you recommend those?
See, Neha, I'd say whether it's makeup, whether it's hair, whether it's any product, uh, excessive use is going to obviously damage.
Yeah.
So as long as it's used when it's required, I always say, learn makeup, use it as an accessory. You don't have to use it every day.
Yeah.
Use it when you need it. So same way, have the knowledge, use it when you require it.
Mm.
But knowledge never hurts. It's always an added bonus.
Yeah. But what if you're someone who needs to blow dry very regularly? So how do you manage the damage control? How do you compensate and look after
You
your hair?
even need to blow it. You have your heat protecting things and
Yeah.
stuff, which obviously, look at these film stars. You
Yeah.
do it every time.
Yeah.
They still have a good set of hair. So of course, you need to counter it with the right products.
Mhm.
But I still believe in my oiling your hair, steaming your hair. I love all those
Yeah.
things. I love aloe vera in my hair.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are things that have helped my hair. And believe me when I say this, 25 years or 30 years, I've really abused my hair.
Yeah.
Really abused my hair.
How do you create a smoky eye look? And especially when you have flat eyelids.
See, smoky again. Okay, here I'm going to talk as an artist. Now, when you say smoky, there are different kinds of smokies. When you even take a color red,
Mm.
which red is it?
Yeah, do you have a perfect red lipstick?
Which red is it? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Is
There
there-
are so many shades of red. Again, smoky, there's so many ways of smoky.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm doing smoky for a Kareena Kapoor versus a Malaika Arora, a Bipasha, what is the difference? Complexion, eye shape, outfit. There are lots of
Yeah.
factors you have to keep in mind when you say that. So, giving a tip verbally becomes a little tricky.
Yeah.
Because there are lots of factors again that come into it. But see, when you go on the net, you have like 200 ways of doing a smoky, right? But what works for you is what my point is. What works for you? Do you have 2 hours to take to be able to do that smoky look perfectly? Or would you rather, train yourself to do it in 5-10 minutes and get done with it? What works for you?
5-10 minutes.
Exactly. So what happens is when you're learning online, you're going through all this jargon and then still not knowing what to do for yourself. You go to a store, they'll tell you this works for you, you'll buy it.
Yeah.
There are students who go to these stores and they're sold because their job is to sell it. They're going to give you some
Yeah.
10-15 products, but are they working for you? You could buy a Chanel, you could buy a Dior. Is it working for you? My question's that. It's not the money you're spending. It's the investment you're making.
Yeah, but how would you know that it works for you? As in, first time when you try, you won't. It looks.
But that's why you need experts like
Yeah,
us. No?
yeah.
Like
So
what
we
I
need to
teach
come
in
to
my
you.
3 days, it's not that you need 15 products, you need 5 products. But can you do 15 things with them? Or at least do 8 things with them?
Yeah.
Then that product is useful. It's versatile.
Cool. Yeah.
I work the other way around. I'm not telling you go invest so much in your products, but I'd say use them wisely. Learn how to use them wisely.
A liquid gel or eyeliner pencil.
Both depending on your style, but I'm more a pencil person.
Yeah. How do you clean your tools?
We have a cleaner.
Okay.
We have cleaners. We have alcohol-based
Yeah.
cleaners, which we do all the time,
Yeah.
before and after.
Because that's how you maintain them. right?
Absolutely. And your brushes are your main tool. Yeah.
Yeah. Any favorite products for touch-ups?
I do like the Charlotte Tilbury powder foundations.
Okay. What is the difference between beauty makeup, fashion makeup, and bridal?
See, I think beauty per se depends again where you're checking on or rather studying the personality and giving them what is required.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's I'm doing it on someone or teaching someone,
Mm-hmm.
right? When it comes to fashion, you have a little more of a leverage to extend yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a little quirky, you can get quirkier, depending on what it is. Like, if it's I still love doing it for fashion shows because that's where you can go a little bizarre, that's when your creativity can really, really be exploited. And the third one you said was?
Right.
Bridal. Bridal, again, I think I love that because you have to stay within the beauty standards because that's what they're coming to. But the amount you can push yourself is a little. And again, how much is the client ready to push it? You know?
And also, it has to last for long, and brides usually cry, right? So it shouldn't spill over. And so
We do have to keep certain factors in mind right now. But trust me, nowadays brides don't cry that much. They always remember how much they paid for the makeup. So yeah, I mean, but bridals, I think we still stay within that. You can get a little experimental, but fashion is where you get the maximum. And grooming, I mean, in the beauty thing, I would put it as grooming, where, yeah, depending on personality wise.
how does Gouri Kapur spend her Sunday?
Well, earlier part of my life, it was working every day. Every Sunday was work day. I think my job was such where everyone was chilling, I was working. So, but now, I think Mondays are my off. I still work on Sundays. I do like, but it is a little more laid back. I do like to spend my time with the family, with my boys. Sunday is more family time as much as possible. I'm a very family person as well.
Okay. And where does Gouri Kapur shop?
She creates, but not much in Bangalore. Predominantly either in New York or Delhi. Those are my shopping destinations. I mean, if I buy. But mostly I like to recreate my stuff. I still have stuff which is 12, 15 because my choice has always been quirky. So I have it's my collection of things, So, and it's similar, like this jacket is my son's and I've just,
Yeah, talk to us about it. It's really cool what you're wearing and what you did. So you also going to get into fashion and style?
I think that's what I'm saying. It's a part of me. Fashion is a part of me. That's how I'm good at what I do. My son works at the Oberoi and his jacket had a little hole at the back. So he said, Mom, you can, you want to give it away? I was like, no, don't give it away. Give it to me. So he said, okay. So you want the trousers as well? I said, no. So I took that and I just chopped it off. And I had these... I'd bought these for my academy for one of the students' looks. So, and when I had my academy, the portfolios that we used to create for the students, right? For the individual portfolios. So I used to buy, I used to love creating because I love creating as well. So that used to give me an opportunity to create stuff. And I wanted stuff which was like, I have created a jacket, which is so similar to what Madonna wore for one of the awards or something like that. And I had made it 2 years before she did. And I remember showing it, and I don't really come out of this, in the open. It's just because you do it for yourself. So that way I've always been ahead of time in my fashion sense. So anyway, so I had these embellishments or whatever. So I just kind of put them all together and created it.
It's fantastic, actually.
So yeah.
We can see a new Gouri Kapur label coming up, I guess.
Actually, I did try, but I don't think I've really got the luxury to be myself in that. Because the limitation is the people who don't understand here when, for the execution. So it's sometimes easier to do it yourself, but how much can you do yourself? It's that way. But that's why I like doing it for individuals because it's like, okay, give me your stuff, but let's do this. It's fun getting creative with your clients. Yeah.
And any advice for the aspiring makeup artists would you like to give?
There's a lot I would want to talk to the makeup artists now because it's completely different from what we were. But I think just be truthful to yourselves. Be honest to yourself. Keep learning. Never think you know it all. Because you never do. You never do and you never will. So keep learning, keep growing. Stay true to your art. Stay true to your clients. Stay grounded. There's nothing that you need to fly in the air for. For what? You're still just doing your job, Yeah, your job entails meeting these people. That doesn't make it any different. Because that's what I feel is really lacking. Gratitude for what you've been given and what you're capable of. Don't exploit it. Respect it.
Yeah. Any cool makeup tip?
Tons of them.
Give us 3.
Tons of them. One is my pencil is the favorite. I mean, if you want a very soft look, use a brown pencil, a kohl pencil as your eyeliner and just smudge it out. I think that is one of my favorite for any eye shape, any complexion, doesn't matter. If you have small eyes, use colored lenses. That does help if you want to stand out. It's not a makeup tip, but it helps in the makeup. Third one.
I love these ideas actually.
Third one is if, let's say, you want an easier way of contouring and you don't want to go the entire route, all you need to do is take a lighter highlighter and add it to the tip of your nose all the way down. So that kind of makes your
Yeah.
nose look a little sharper
Sharp.
naturally without learning the jargon or makeup.
Is there a perfect red lipstick?
There are lots of perfect red lip, but which is the right red for you?
Okay, yeah. You've been saying that from the
Yeah,
beginning.
because that's our job. That's what people don't understand. That's
Yeah.
our job.
Yeah.
You know, because I've had clients who say, Corey, I've tried red. Red lipstick doesn't work for me. And when I have done it, they're like, whoa, we didn't know it could look like that. So, you know, I mean, that's the power of right makeup.
Yeah.
The idea is that you've had, you know, you have certain misconceptions, but when you actually come to the right person, that's what I love doing, breaking all of them and showing you the power of makeup, the real power of makeup. I mean, you don't even need cosmetic surgery if you know the power of makeup.
Yeah. Do you believe in cosmetic surgery?
No.
You coming up with your podcast? Have you thought of a name, and when would be?
Well, me and Rohit are working on it since, of course, he is a filmmaker. So he is, we are still working on it.
Okay. And last but not the least, is there any cool makeup term that we all don't know about and you use it?
Common sense.
Right.
Needs a lot of it.
But there are these I was going through, Google, there are a lot of these fancy terms which...
Yeah, there's so much out there in the
Yeah.
makeup. And see, it's not that I have to keep learning. I have to keep myself upbeat about it. But there's just so much, there's just too much of information out there.
Yeah.
And I sometimes wonder, me as an artist gets so tired reading all that.
Yeah.
I don't even know what happens to normal people who are like filling themselves up with it. But what are they really getting out of it?
So it's not really required, you're saying?
It's not really required. You need the right information to make life easier for you.
From your experiences of travel, anything that you've learned, any cool places that you've been?
I mean, I've traveled to New York
Okay.
for bridals. I've been to Egypt, Thailand, of course. But I think every travel experience just adds, right, to your whole thing.
Yeah.
It's always been, and especially when you're working on brides, every experience is different.
Yeah.
But I just love my job, and I love the people I interact with. I enjoy it. I think that's what's different, and I think I am so blessed and so grateful that I think getting into something is easy, sustaining is the hardest part.
Yeah.
So I would say almost now next year would be 26, and that's a long time. When I actually look back and I think of it, I'm like, damn, that's a long time to be able to sustain in this. So I think everything has been an experience. Everything is, and I'm extremely grateful and blessed for what I've been blessed with, and for me to be able to help others with it.
Lovely. What do your boys think about your work?
I think this would go for any working woman because my kids have seen me. They see the kind of respect
Yes.
I get. They're, of course, extremely proud. And I think it's just a beautiful relationship between me and my sons where there's such a beautiful understanding, there's such a beautiful acceptance, there's a respect factor. And they've seen the mother work hard,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's what every child should see. The parents work hard
Yeah.
because that's what they learn. So, yeah, I just feel, thanks to my work again, the kids they look at me differently in terms of, I just love the relationship we share, actually.
Yeah, I think it's really beautiful that you've stood, and you've been consistent, and it's a great example that you've set for your boys.
Yeah, because every time you fall, I mean, nobody sees when you fall, but you gotta rise again. That's the only thing that they see.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Thank you, Gauri. It was really fun chatting with you, and all the best for your future.
Thank you so much, Neha. It was lovely chatting with you as
Same.
well. Thank you.